This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening. So in last class we discussed regarding the lookup functions. Today we are going to start with the power query. Okay, do you have any query regarding last class?
No,
So if you
ma'am.
don't have, okay, fine. If you don't have any query, we will continue with the new topic, that is power query. So what is this power query? So power query is nothing but getting the data from other source. What we call it as it is getting the data source from other file like notepad, SQL. Okay, so that we call it as what? Power query. So one by one we are going to work on this. Give me 2 minutes. So see here, power query. Power query is known as get and transform in the Excel. Nothing but where we are getting the data from other source. Other source are nothing but the other file. Okay, nothing but notepad, common separated value, SQL. So we have a lot of option. Access are there. So when you get the data from other source, that we call it as power query. You can import or connect to a external data and then shape the data. Shape the data is nothing but as per your requirement you can make a necessary changes in that data. Example, remove a column, change a data type, merge a tables in ways that meet your needs. Nothing but as per your requirement, you can make a necessary changes in that. Then you can load to your query into Excel to create a chart and reports. So Power Query is all about first we'll get the data from other source like common separated value, SQL or the Access. After importing the data to a Power Query, we as per our requirement we make a necessary changes in that. After making the necessary changes, we'll create the charts and reports. That we call it as Power Query. Got it or can I explain it once? Am I audible to you guys?
Understood, ma'am.
Sorry?
Got it, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So now we'll create a one data here. So you can open the notepad. So in a notepad, so I'll create first one title. Use a tab there in between, use a tab. So I'm using here tab. Here I'll go for the names. One more thing you can go for their surname. So title I go for Mr. Name Ravin, surname or the whatever you want you can take it as surname. Okay, Kumar. Second one I'll go for the Mrs. Miss Radhesh Shah. So after that I'll go for the Mrs. Uh, Mrs. Rani Singh. Okay, so I'll enter some other data. Mr. Rahul Kapoor. Then you can go for Mrs. Mrs. Miss Tanu. Code. Enter. Then Mr. Shreyank Patil. Then you can go for Miss Zoya Singh. So last one, Mr. Hmm, Tarun Kumar. So after entering the data, okay, save it by clicking Control S. So I'll save it in a desktop. So the name is table, or you can give any name here. Details. So click on save option. So after saving the data, close the notepad. Now open a Excel. Open a Excel. So I'll click on this blank workbook. Now I want to import that data to a Excel sheet. I want to import the data from Excel sheet. So what I will do, I'll go to the data tab. I'll go to the data tab. You have the option here, get the data, otherwise from text or CSV. CSV stand for common separated value. Okay, you can click here or click on get data. When you click on this get data, you have the option here from file, Excel, text, XML, PDF, from folder. So all these options are there. So here you have the SQL related data, and the other things, lot of things are there. So first we are going to discuss about text and CSV. So text and CSV is nothing but common separated value or the from notepad. So I'll click on this text and CSV. When you click on this text and CSV, you can see here it will display the one import data tab. So just click on this. So you have to remember the path of a file. So when you click on this, you have to type here. So I'll go for what is that? Details. Can you see here? Just click on this. Click on import option. Click on import option. So it will take us some period of time. Wait for 2 minutes. Any doubt till here?
No, ma'am.
Fine then. Now, so when you click on this, you have the two option here. So three options are there: load, transform, and cancel options are there. So if you want to cancel it, you can go for that. If transform data and load data, so the difference is transform data is nothing but when you want to make a changes in this data, when you want to make a changes in the particular data, you can go for transform data. I'll show with the both the things. So now you can see here, instead of it is showing title, name, surname as a heading, it is showing as a column 1, column 2 and column 3. So what I will do, okay, I want to make a changes in this. So what I will do, I'll just click on this transform data. What is the difference between transform and load? Transform, where you can make a changes. When you want to make a changes in the original data, we'll go for the transform data. When as it is you want to import to a Excel, then you can go for load option. First I'll show with the transform data.
Excuse me.
Yes, pa.
When I saved it in the notepad, I had saved it as title, name, and surname separately. But
Okay.
when I am trying to import it, it shows column 1 and column 2. Column 1 title and column 2 name, surname together it has come.
Same thing I'm getting here, no? Column 1, column 2, column 3.
I've not got column 1, column 2, column 3. I've only got column 1 and column 2.
Is it you are not getting column 3? You have entered the three things, column, sorry, title, name and surname.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you little bit louder? I can't hear you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine, then you do one thing, go to the original data. Just I don't think so you have used tab here. Okay, just check with that.
Ma'am, what should I do?
Go to the original data notepad, open the notepad
Ah,
file.
ah,
Okay, just check with the whether you have used the tab or not.
uh, tab in the sense. Ma'am, I didn't get you. Tab in the sense?
Can you little bit louder, ma'am?
Ma'am, I didn't get you. Tab in the sense?
Guys, see here, tab you have the space like this. It will show you the
Yes,
equal
ma'am.
space. Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine then. You just check with that. After that, save it now. Save and close. Okay. So, see here, I imported the data to a Power Query editor. So when you transform the data, so we are in the Power Query editor. Instead of Excel, we are in the Power Query editor. So when you're in the Power Query editor, you can make a necessary changes in that. See here, it is displaying a column 1, column 2, column 3 instead of title, name and the surname. So what I will do, I want first row as a header. What I want to do, I want first row as a header. So in a home you have the option here, use first row as a header. Just click on this, use first row as a header. Can you see the changes? Now title, names, surname is there. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay then. So when you want to make a necessary changes in the okay, when you are in the original data, you have to go for the transform data. Where when you click on this transform data, you'll get a Power Query editor. So after this, if I want to work in a, I want to come back to the Excel sheet. So you have the option here, close and load, close and load to. Okay, close and load is nothing but, okay, when the existing data is there, if you want to make a changes in the existing data, so we'll click on this Power Query editor, will already we downloaded it. If I want to make a changes in the original data, in that time you have to go for close and load to. close and load to, sorry, 1 minute, close and load. So I'll just click on this as this is my new data, because directly I click on this transform data. For that purpose, I'll click on this close and load to. Okay, I'll just clarify with the difference between the close and load and close and load to. Okay, so I'll just click on this close and load. When you directly click on this transform data, after making a changes, you're loading into a Excel sheet. Okay, when you first time you're loading into the Excel sheet, that we call it as close and load option. When I'll just click on this close and load, after that I'll explain with the close and load to option. You got the difference?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So you can see here title, Mr., all those things are there, name is there, surname is there. This is how we import the data to a Excel, okay, with a different source. Okay, now listen to me carefully. I'll just close with this. I'll just close this. Again I open the Excel. I'll open the blank workbook. Now I'll go to the data tab. Directly I go to the from txt or csv. I'll go click on desktop. I'll type here details. Click on import option. Now again you are getting the transform data and load option. Now transform data is nothing but when you want to make a changes in the original data. So we'll move on to the transform data. We'll click on transform data. When I don't want to make any changes in my original data, as it is I want to import the data from the other source, then I'll go for the load option. Load option. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now listen to me carefully. Again, we are getting the same thing, column 1, column 2, column 3. Now I want to make a necessary changes in that. So we already loaded the data to a Excel sheet. Give me 1 minute, I'll be back. Sorry for the disturbance. Now I already loaded the data to a Excel. I imported the data to a Excel. Now I want to make a necessary changes in that. So what I will do, in a date, you have the option here. The data, you have the option here from table or a range. What is this table or a range? So when you click on this from table or a range, it move on to the, it will open the Power Query Editor. What is that Power Query Editor? Power Query Editor is when you want to make a necessary changes in the particular table, will go for the Power Query Editor. So when I want to make a changes in this table, in a data tab, I'll click on this from table or a range. So when I click on this table or a range, See a Power Query editor is there. Okay, Power Query editor. Now, what I want to make a changes? Excuse me. So column 1, column 2, column 3 is there. Instead of this, I want my first row has a header. So what I will do, I'll just click on this. In a home, you have the option use first row as a header. When I click on this use first row as a header, now you can see a title is my sorry, the headings is the first the column 1 instead of a column 1, column 2, column 3. So it will display you as a title, name and surname as a heading. So now listen to me carefully. When you're loading the data to a Excel for the first, okay, when you're loading the data to a Excel, so in that time you can go for the close and load, but already we loaded the data to a Excel. Now you have the option close and load to. When I click on, you got it, or can I explain it once regarding the difference between close and load and close and load to? Fine. So I'll just click on this close and load to, because already I loaded into a Excel. After making necessary changes in the Power Query editor, I want to load it to a new sheet or the existing sheet. In that time, I'm using this close and load to. I'll just click on this close and load to. So now you can see here, if you want, you can go for the whatever the data is in the table format. If you want pivot table report, pivot chart, only create a connection. So if you want to insert that data in the existing sheet, can you see how by default it is selected the new sheet. If you want to insert your table in the existing sheet, then click on this existing sheet and you can see a select the cell, select the location or the path. So after that, click on this OK button. Now you can see the difference between two tables. Okay, after making the changes within the sheet. Now, so again, I'll go to this. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo then. Now, I'll just click on this. I'll go to the option data tab. Again, I want to make some necessary changes. I'll go to the from table or a range, because we move on to the Power Query editor. Now, I'll just click on this user first row as a header. I'll click on this option close and load to. When you click on this, so previously we discussed regarding the existing sheet. Now I want to transfer this data into a new sheet. By default it will select a new worksheet. Click on OK button. Now you can see here my data is in the new worksheet or the spreadsheet. So this is how we use Power Query, load, transform. Okay. Do you have any query?
No, ma'am.
Fine then. Now, what I will do, whatever the data is there, so I'll just copy it. I'll open a Excel here. I'll paste it. Okay. So I'll select this. I'll give a border for this, or whatever the changes you want, you can make it. Now, so what I will do, I'll make So the next thing in the Power Query we are going to discuss regarding the text function. So what are these text functions? So first function we are going to learn upper, lower, proper, and trim, concatenate, then these things we are going to learn. So when you want to turn your data into a uppercase, you can go for upper. Lower is nothing but small letters. Proper is nothing but the first letter of your text is in caps, the remaining things are in small letter. Trim is nothing but when you given unwanted spaces in between, then it will remove the unwanted spaces. Concatenate is nothing but when you have a data in a different cells, if you want to convert that data into a single cell, then you can use the concatenate. Any doubt regarding the any of the word? Because
No,
already we
ma'am.
discussed regarding this. Fine then. Now, I'll give us some unwanted spaces here. I'll take this one. So this is my table. So which contain the unwanted spaces and all these things are available. So what I will do, I'll save it first. After making a necessary changes, what I will do, I'll save it. Okay, Control S. I'll go to the browse, desktop. I'll take it as mm, I'll make a file as a EMP. Okay, so I'll just click on this save option. Okay, so I'll close this Excel. So after that, so I'll open the Excel. I want to import that data to a
Ma'am, can
Excel
you
sheet.
just give us a minute?
Sorry.
Just a second. We are
Yes, pa.
just a second.
Done.
We just had to give the spaces and save them, right?
Yeah.
And
If you want, you can continue with
yes,
the same workbook. Otherwise, you can open the new workbook. You can import the data from the another workbook. Both are possible. If you want to continue with the same workbook, okay, continue with the same workbook. Otherwise, you can import the data from the another workbook. I'm importing the data from the another workbook. Fine.
yes.
Chalo. So I'll go to the data. You have the option here, get the data from file. Can you see here from workbook? So I'm importing the data here from another workbook. I'll just click on this from workbook. So I'll click on this desktop. So I'll type here EMP. So just select the file, click on import. So when you click on this import, you'll get one option here. So it is a sheet 1. So I'm selecting the sheet 1. Okay, so I'm selecting the sheet 1 here. So you are getting the two option, load and transform. Transform data. Can you give me the difference between transform and load data? Any one of you?
And transforming the data means making the necessary changes in the data, and loading the data means loading it in the sheet.
Good. So what I will do, I'll click on this transform data because I want to make some necessary changes where I want to convert my data into uppercase, lowercase, all those information are available. So I'll just click on this transform data. Now you can see here, I have like this data which is in a not a proper format. Okay, first I'll take a user first row as a header. This is the first step. Can you see here? The steps are, can you see the steps? Here you don't have a undo redo options, guys. You have the option here cancel. Can you see here? When I click on this change type 1, I close this. Again you are getting the original data. I'll just click on this. Can you see here? Column 1, column 2, column 3 is there. When I click on this use of first row as a header, you can see here. These are the steps where you, if you don't want, you can just cancel the steps here. You don't have the undo option here. Now, after this, you have the option here transform. Transform, you have the option here trim. Can you see here? Home is there. Transform. Transform, you have the text column. In that, you have the option here format. You have the option here format. So what you have to do? So select this cell. So whichever cell you select the column. So what I will do, I want to make a changes in each and every column. So I'll press a control. I'll select all the three columns. What I will do, I want to make a changes in all the three columns. So I'm using here by pressing control. I'll select all the columns. After selecting all the columns, I'll go to this format option. You have the option here trim. Can you see here? You have the option here trim. So I'll just click on this trim option. Can you see here?
Yes,
Properly it
ma'am.
is okay aligned with the left align. So if you don't want, you can just, can you see a close option is there? Just remove it. So how to select it? Press Control for selecting everything. Go to the transform, format, trim. Okay. Now I want to convert this into a uppercase. Now I want to convert this column into a uppercase. So I'll select this. You have the option here, format, uppercase. Can you see here? Ravin, all those things, whatever the names are, they are converted into a uppercase. Within the same column, it is converting into a uppercase. Now I don't want to change in the same column. I want to insert a one more column. What I want to do? I don't want to make any changes in the same column or the particular column. It has to add the another column with the changes. So what I will do, I'll select this. Instead of this transform, you have the option here, add column. I'll just click on this add. Can you see a format option? Click on
Yes, ma'am.
this. Click on this uppercase. So 1 minute, I'll just convert into a lowercase. Can you see here? When you use a transform within the same column, it will make a changes, guys. When you use a add column, it will add a one more column with the changes. Got it? Or can I explain it once? The difference between your transform and the add column.
Got it, ma'am.
Good. Chalo. Next. So you have the option here, up, lower, upper, capitalize each word, trim, clean. Clean is nothing but when you want to remove the unwanted data. In that time we are using the clean option. Fine. Next.
Ma'am,
Add prefix.
unwanted means like what, ma'am?
When you don't want a particular data, in that time you can remove it. That we call it as a unwanted data. One minute. Mhm. Okay. So the next option you have, add prefix and suffix. What is this prefix? Any person? Okay. So any
Adding
text.
before a word, ma'am. Prefix
Yeah.
means.
Okay. So if you want to add any title or anything in front of a text, in that time we are using the prefix. Excuse me. Now all these people are the CA. Okay, I didn't add a CA. I've taken it as a Mr., Mrs., all those things. So what I will do, I'll select this. I'll click on this. If you want a new column with the changes, you can go for the add column. Otherwise, you can go for the transform. You have the option add prefix. So I want a new column. So I'll click on this add column, format, add prefix. So what you want to add? I want all these people are the CA space. Okay. So what you want to add in front of a particular text, you can go for CA. I have used CA dot space. Click on OK button. With a one more column, you can see a CA Ravin, CA Radhe, all those people are there. So this is prefix. Suffix is nothing but end of the text. So I'll take it as all these people. I'll take it as so I think that these are the some product. I want to end with the etc, etc. So I'll just click on this. I'll click on this format. I'm just giving an example, guys. Think that all these are the product. I want to end with the some data. So I'm using here etc dot. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you don't want any of the text, just close with this. So after that, if you want to rename the table, instead of a sheet 1, I want it as a employee details. Don't give a space, use a underscore. Underscore details. Fine. So I'll click on this. Now I'll select this. I'll make a changes. I'll click on this format, trim. I'll convert into uppercase the whole thing. Okay, so after all these things, I'll go to the home, click on close and load. Close. When you click on this close and load, directly it move on to the new sheet, guys. So if you want an existing sheet, if you want to show the options, what are the steps, then you can go for the close and load too. So I directly, what I will do, I want to move on to the new sheet. So just click on this close and load. See the changes. Now, if you want to make another changes, go for from table or range. Again, you are working in the Power Query Editor. So these are the some data which is related to your text. Power Query with text functions. Now we are going to learn. Excuse me. So that is, you have the option here. Not this. So length, first character, last character, range, text before delimiter, text after delimiter, text between delimiter. So we are going to discuss regarding this. So what I will do, I'll import some data. Fine. So before that, see here. So I'll make changes in the original data. Okay, what I will do. Okay, first I'll go to the home. So here employee details 2. So what I will do in the employee details, so concatenate, I'll add one more thing here, concatenate. So what you have to do, I want Mr. names and surname in a one cell. What I want to do, I want Mr. Ravin Kumar in a single cell. So what you are select, press control 1 2 3. After selecting this, you have the option here merge columns. You have the option here merge columns. When you click on this merge columns, oh Rama, it is not displaying for me. Guys, you just try with this because it is not displaying for me. Okay, the dialog box it will come. So you have the option here tab, just click on OK button. Okay, you have the option, you have to select there, tab, click on OK button. It is not displaying for me. So I'll just try with this add column, merge columns. See here. When I click on this, you can try with a in transform also. I'm trying with the add column. So I'll just click on this add column. I'll click on this merge columns. Can you see here? So you can see here what you want in between when you concatenate. What you want a space, comma, equal sign. You have to select here what you want. So I want a in between, I want a space. So I'll click on the space, click on OK button. Can you see here? Mr. We have a space, Ravin we have a space. I'll just show it once. See here, select it, click on this merge column, pop up. So I want a equals to sign. In between I want a equal sign. So just click on this, click on OK button. Can you see here in between what you have? Equal sign you have. So this is how we use a merge columns, or you can call it as a concatenate. Fine.
Instead of pressing merge column, ma'am, can we use content formula, ma'am?
There you can use where in Excel you can use it, ma,
Okay, ma'am.
but not in Power Query Editor. So in a Power Query Editor is nothing. The thing is, so without using any formula, within a one single step, automatically it will get the data for you, where it reduce the work. Okay, it will not take a longer period, or within a shorter period you can set up data. That is the use of your Power Query. The difference between your Excel and the Power Query. Here we have to use a when you're working in Excel, you have to use concatenate. Instead of that, what you have to do here? Just you have to select all these things. Just with one click, it will merge the data for you or concatenate the data for you. That is the use of your what? Power Query. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo then. So I'll just click on this home. Now, if I want to load to the new sheet, directly you can go for the close and load. If you want to load to a same sheet or the other thing, you can go pivot table, all those things, you can go for close and load to. I'll just click on this close and load to, because I just want to move this data to a new sheet. I'll just right click. Uh, 1 minute, I'll just go to the from table or a range. So I'll just click on this close and at least load to. Okay. So you can see here, title is there, name is there, and the things are there. So what I will do, I'll go to this employee details. I'll make a changes in this. What I will do, here we have the merge data. Here we have the employee details. Okay. 1 minute. Fine. So I'll make a necessary changes here. So instead of sing, I'll take it as a, okay. So how to make a changes? So just go to this employee, the third one. When you make a changes in the original data, so it is showing Rani Singh. So just right click here. You have the option here, refresh. You can see here it is changed with a Chopra. Like this, you can use a refresh. When you make a changes in the original data, so if you want to appear in the which is related to that table, you have to right click and refresh the data. Fine. Fine. Chalo. Next. So I'll just go to this option. Now I'll just click on this. Mm, data from table or a range. So in a table or the range, you can see here. Now, if I want to know the what is the length of nothing but number of characters, so I'll select this. So I have some names here. I'll go to the add. I want to know how number of characters. So I'll go to this option, extract. You have the length. Length is nothing but number of characters. You can see the number of characters are 14 because it includes the space also. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, if I want to know first three character, first five characters, select it, click on this extract. You have the first characters, last characters. I want first five characters. It is not displaying for me. We'll try with this. So you try with this first character, last character, range. So you have to give the range here. Range is nothing but I want to start it from fifth character or the sixth character. So from fifth or sixth, I want from sixth I want a three character. From four I want a six character like that. So it has to start with the fourth character. From four I want a five characters. Otherwise I want a three characters. It will start taking from fourth character, fourth, fifth, sixth it will take. You can see here when I click on this. So A 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. After 4, it will take a three character. 1, 2, 3 characters are there. So this is how we use the range. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine then. So the next text we are going to learn, that is text before delimiter, text after delimiter. After that, text between delimiter. Okay. So I'll just uh, close the whole thing. So I have some data here. I'll just import it from another file. So I'll just click on this both the things, list of order. Order ID is this. I'll just deselect it. I don't want this. So I'll just click on this transform data. So I have a order number here. Okay, you can see here first we have a BN. Okay, the department, year, and I have a some reference number. So what I want BN in a one cell, year, and the remaining things. So I'll select here. I'll click on this add column. You have the option here text before delimiter. I want to display whatever the text is there before delimiter. So I'll just click on this text before delimiter. So text before delimiter, what you have? So I have a hyphen. So I'm using here hyphen. I'll just click on this OK button. So it is displaying the text before delimiter. So text before we have a hyphen. So before that, whatever the data is there, so it is displaying the data for us. Again, I'll select this. I'll click on this extract. I'll click on this text after delimiter. I'll just click on this. Again, we have the hyphen only, so I'm using the hyphen. I'll just click on this OK button. So text after the delimiter, it is showing the data for us. So again,
Ma'am, what? Excuse me.
apa,
What is the meaning of delimiter, ma'am?
delimiter is nothing but whatever the common things is there. No, in the entire column, what is a common thing? A small hyphen is a common thing. So that we call it as a delimiter, where you can bifurcate your data into a different cell.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine. Select it. I'll click on this extract. I'll click on this text between delimiter. What is the things we have? Hyphen. In this also we have the hyphen. So just click on this OK button. So you can see in between the years is there. So it is showing the data for you. So this is about your extract. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Fine then. So the next thing we are going to learn about your some number functions. So for number functions, I'll enter some data. I'll try with if I have any data. So before that, we'll go for some data here. Okay, before this, we are going to discuss about the date function. So I'll just close this. So I don't want to save this. I'll click on this. I'll click on don't save option. Now I'll open our Excel. Otherwise, give me 1 minute. Date functions. Fine. I have some data here. I'll convert into a new sheet. This one. Copy it. Okay, so now I have some data here. I'll take it as a order ID. Fine. Now date functions. So in the date functions, we are going to learn about year, month, quarter. Okay, I want to know which year, which day, which quarter is this, which weekday is this, week of the day. Everything we are going to learn in the date function. Which are the things we are going to learn? So we are going to learn about year, month, then we can go for the quarter, day, weekday, week of the year. We have a lot of things one by one. We are going to learn etc. Fine. So what I will do, I'll
Yes,
select the
ma'am.
same table, click on this data. I'll click on this from table or a range. So click on OK button. My table has a header. Now, can you see here? It is showing with the timings. I don't want a timing, guys. So I just want the date. So when you import the data to a Power Query editor, so it will display the data with the timings. If you don't want a timing, just click on this option. You have the option here, date. Just click on this. So it will remove the timing for you. Okay, it will remove the timing for you. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo then. So now I'll just click on this. I'll click on this. If you want to add column, I just want to add column. So when you click on this, you have the option here, date. You have the year, month, quarter, week, day. So here, if I want to know the year, so when I click on this, can you see here? It is displaying the year of the date. Okay, if I want to know only about the year, it is displaying the year only. So how to insert it? Just click on select the column, add column, date, year. You have the option year. If you want to start of the year, if you want to know the start of the year, end of the year, you can go for this. So I just want to know the year. I'll just click on this year option. So it is displaying the year for you. Now I'll just click on this. I'll click on this date. You have the month. You can see a month. When you click on this month, you can see a May is in the fifth month. So most of the people, they don't understand that 5, 11, 10. They will understand in the text format. So I'll just click on this. I'll click on this date, month. Can you see a days in a month or the name of the month? So I want name of the month. I'll click on this name of the month. May, November, October, December, all these things are appearing. If I want to how many days are in this month, so most of the people will get confusion. So I'll select it, go to the date, month, days in a month. You can go for the days in the month. If you don't want any one of these step, then select that step. Can you see here? Just remove it. Delete. Okay. It will display
Yes,
for
ma'am.
you. The
Excuse me,
next.
ma'am.
Yes, Pa.
Mom, how do we remove the timing from order ID?
Can you see here the pop-up button is there? No, a small the
Yes, ma'am.
calendar.
Yes.
Just click on this. You have the option here, date. You have
Okay,
the
ma'am.
date and
Okay.
time, date. Just click on this date. Fine. Chalo. Next. So if you don't want any one of the things, you can remove it here. If you want to make a changes also, can you see here? You can pop up this option. You will get the changes. Now, if I want to know what is the day, okay, so I'll just click on this date. So otherwise, if you want a quarter, whether it is a first quarter, second quarter, or the fourth quarter, you can go for the quarter of the year. It is in the second quarter, fourth quarter, all the information is available. I'll click on this. I'll pop up this option. You have the option here, week. If I want to know where, okay, it is a first week, second week, or the week of the year, so like this you can go for. You can see here week of the month. So you can see here 15 is in the third week and 24 is in the fourth week. So it will display the week for you guys. So again, I don't want some of the steps. I'll just make a changes. Now I don't want this. I'll just remove it. I'll select this. I'll click on this. If I want to know the day, which day it is, so it is on. Just click on this day. So it is showing the 15th. If you want name, click on this date, day, name of the day, whether it is a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You can click on this name of the day here. So it is showing Saturday, Friday, Thursday, like that. Okay, you can give your date of birth, guys. Then you can see which month, which day, and the day of the month. We'll try with that. So I'll just click on this home. I'll click on this close and load to. So you can see here, this is my sheet 1. This is the recently the updated whatever the changes we have made here. Now, what I will do, sheet 1, the original data is there. So I'll change with that. I'll give any of the, I'll go for 7/22/2001. So I'll give a date of birth here. What do you have to do? Okay. If I want the same data to this related table, I made a changes in the original data. Can you see the changes in the this table?
No, mom.
So what do you have to do to get the same data in another table? Guys, right click. I told you, no, refresh. Just click on this refresh. You can see here July month, day is 22. He born in Sunday. So like this, you can use this date option. Fine.
Yes, mom.
So these are the Power Query things. Today we learned Power Load Transfer, how to get the data from the other source. Okay, after that text function, date functions. So tomorrow we'll continue with the same Power Query where we are going to learn some number function, append data, merge data. Okay, so tomorrow we'll continue with the same topic. You guys work on this whatever we have discussed today. If you have any query, let me know in the next class. Fine.
Yes, mom.
Don't log out. I'll take attendance.